Today we're going over 5 steps to master sight reading. Let's go. Step 1 is about rhythm. Sight reading is about taking a piece that's completely unfamiliar and trying to turn it into something straight away. So one of the best things that you can do to get an idea of the piece of music that you're playing is to work out the rhythm, the speed, and the character of the music straight away. We'll be looking at rhythms more in an upcoming video, but what you want to do is widen the vocabulary of rhythms that you have. Okay, so let's have a look at today's example. The rhythm of the introduction is simple and the marking is lento or slowly. Immediately think of a slow 3/4 tempo in this rhythm, and then you've already built an idea of how the piece that you're unfamiliar with is going to sound. Always count yourself in to establish your pulse and then play. 1, 2, 3. Step 2 is about understanding your key. This is where a different kind of vocabulary comes in, one of your scales, your arpeggios, and your key signatures. Initially begin your sight reading with keys with only a few sharps or flats. Learn everything you can about those keys, the scales, arpeggios, and all the chords on the major and minor scales. Slowly build up your knowledge to include all of the other keys as well. For our Chopin today, I can immediately see that we're in the key of A minor, not because the title tells me, but because the first chord of the piece is just an A minor chord, which has been split up between the left hand and the right hand. We're aiming to see the bigger picture here, reading chords rather than in individual notes. I'm Dominic and welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to level up your piano playing. Step 3 is to find your position or anchor point. If you're a beginner or intermediate sight reader, then you're probably playing in more localized positions. In the beginning, you just play in a 5-finger position, so make sure you know what the highest note and the lowest note of your hand position is. For intermediate and advanced sight reading, you're going to be moving around a lot more, but I would suggest that you still find what I call an anchor point to move around. The trick here is to keep your eyes on the music and know at all times where your anchor point is on the piano. In the Chopin, I would think of one note as being your anchor point. In this section, I'm using the A as the anchor point and I'm just moving around that note. I always want to know where that A is. This brings me to step 4, which is to look up and ahead. If you constantly need to look down to see where your hands are, then you're losing vital reading and processing time. Before you begin, look at where your hands are and what position they're in, and try not to look unless you have a jump and you absolutely have to. Looking ahead is the second part to this, and this is about looking 1 note, 2 notes, and eventually a whole bar ahead of where you're currently playing. Step 5 is to not stop the pulse. Without accuracy, we still have music, but without the pulse, we have nothing. In the beginning, I would suggest that you carry on with a consistent pulse and making sure that your rhythm is correct, rather than aiming for absolute accuracy. Be really intentional about your pulse and always know where the strong beat of the bar is. Remember that sight reading is never a chore and there's always more music to explore. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and watch this video if you want to practice more effectively and more efficiently.